Have you ever created a budget and felt motivated for about a week and then completely ignored it by the end of the month? Or maybe you've said things like, I don't make enough to budget, or I already know where my money goes, or budgets are too restrictive. Here's the truth. Most people don't fail with budgets because they're bad with money. They fail because their budget has no purpose. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a budget and actually stick with it, why most budgets fail, and how budgeting helped me buy a home faster without tracking every dollar and without giving up my life. If you ever felt like your money just disappears, this video is just for you. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, I break down money, business, personal finance in a way that's simple and practical and easy to understand, and that's actually usable in real life. Do me a quick favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this channel with a friend. It really helps the channel grow. Today, we're talking about budgeting, but not the boring, restrictive kind that most people think of. This video is for people who are living paycheck to paycheck, people who've tried budgeting and quit, people who make decent money but don't know where their money goes, and especially people who have a goal but no clear path on how to reach it. By the end of this video, you'll know who should create a budget, how to choose a budgeting method that fits your lifestyle, why the 50-30-20 rule works so well, tools that make budgeting actually easier, and most importantly, how to stick to your budget long term. Everything I'm sharing comes from personal experience, not theory. First, let's cover who needs to budget. Let's clear this up right away. Budgeting is not just for people who are broke. Budgeting is for anyone who wants control. And if you want to stop stressing about money, make progress instead of spinning your wheels, and reach a financial goal faster, or simply know where your money is going, you need a budget. A budget isn't about restriction. It's about clear direction. Without a budget, your money decides where it goes, and with a budget, you decide. And that's where most people go wrong. Let's take a look at why most budgets fail. Here's the real reason why budgets actually fail. People budget without a goal. They sit down, list their expenses, cut a few things out, and hope that it works. I didn't budget just to budget. When I first started working, I had a very specific goal. I wanted to buy a house as soon as possible. That was my goal, and the budget was just the tool. Every dollar I spent or didn't spend was connected to that goal, and because I had a clear goal, something powerful happened. Each year, I literally saw myself getting closer to my goal. That progress kept me motivated. It delayed gratification easier. It gave my sacrifices meaning. I wasn't saying no to spending. I was saying yes to something bigger. And this applies to any goal. Paying off debt, building an emergency fund, quitting a job that you hate, investing, or creating financial freedom. If your budget is not connected to a goal, it won't last. So before you even think about numbers, ask yourself, what am I budgeting for? One mindset shift that helped me more than anything else was that I started viewing my life as a business. Think about how businesses operate. They have revenue, expenses, and they have profit. Revenue is the income, expenses are bills and lifestyle cost, and profit is what's left over. And here's the key. A business that spends more than it earns does not survive. And I always want to stay profitable. That meant I always want to keep more money than I spent. This mindset made budgeting simple. Instead of asking, can I afford this? I started asking, does it hurt my profit? Once I thought that way, my decisions changed automatically. Let's look over how to create a budget. We're going to break this down simply. Creating a budget comes down to 4 steps. Know how much money you bring in. Know where your money is currently going, choose a simple framework, and automate what matters. You don't need perfection, you need awareness and consistency. And the best budgeting framework for beginners is the 50-30-20 rule. Let's take a look. The 50-30-20 rule budget is widely considered the best budgeting method for beginners, and for good reason. It's simple, flexible, and doesn't require tracking every dollar. And here's how it works. 50% are for needs. These are essential expenses you must pay to live and to work. Things like rent or a mortgage, utilities, groceries, health insurance and other insurances, transportation, and minimum debt payments. Here's an important note. Minimum debt payments count as a need, and anything extra goes toward savings. 30% is for wants. This is discretionary spending on things such as dining out, streaming services, hobbies, and vacation. This is where most people usually overspend. 20% is for savings and debt repayment. This is where your future gets funded. Your emergency fund and your retirement accounts like your 401k or your IRA. This category is a non-negotiable. Why is the 50-30-20 rule so effective? This method works very well for beginners because it's easy to understand, it's flexible, and it builds awareness fast. You don't need spreadsheets or complex software, and if you're living in a high-cost area and 50% isn't realistic, that's okay. You can do something like the 60-20-20 rule or the 55-25-20 rule. It's very flexible. The exact percentage does not matter. What matters is you cover your essentials, you enjoy life, and you save something. Here's how to start today. First, calculate your after-tax income. Second, start tracking your spending for 1 month. Look at your bank and your credit card statements. This is eye-opening for most people. Third, apply the 50-30-20 rule guideline. Fourth, automate your savings. Set transfers on payday so you don't have to think about it. Finally, review and adjust monthly. Your budget is a living system, not a prison. With a quick Google search, you can find tons of great budgeting apps. Here, I'm pulling up the list from Forbes article that compares some of the best budgeting apps out there. The key is to understand this. There are a lot of good options, and you don't need to find the perfect one. You just need to pick one or try a few out and stick with the one that you'll actually use. The app doesn't create discipline. It's your habits that do. The app just makes it easier. The 50-30-20 rule is great, but it's not the only option. Here are a few others. There's a zero-based budget where every dollar has a job. Income minus expenses equals zero. This is great for meticulous planners and people who want strict control, but it can be time-consuming. The next system is the envelope system. You assign spending categories and stop spending when the envelope is empty. This works very well for impulsive spenders and visual learners. The next system is that you pay yourself first. You save first, then live on the rest. This is perfect if you want fast-track savings and you trust yourself to cover your needs. Different systems work for different people. Next, let's look at how to stick to a budget. This is the most important part. Sticking to a budget comes down to a few important things. First, always tie your budget to a goal. Second, track your progress, and this doesn't have to be perfect. Third, build flexibility. If your budget is too strict, you'll quit. Fourth, review it monthly, not daily. Fifth, treat mistakes as data and not failure. You didn't fail, you learned something. Consistency beats intensity every time. There are many ways to budget. In the end, the best budget is the one that works for you. Budgeting helped me save and buy a home faster, not because I was perfect, but because I was intentional. I had a goal, I used a system, and I stayed consistent. You can do the same. Pick a goal, pick a method, and start this month. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want more videos about money, business, and building long-term wealth, and comment below. What are you budgeting for right now? And I'll see you in the next one.